ladies and gentlemen, time is running out. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Hat Show video cast recapping last night's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Chicago Cubs as the Phillies lose 6-3 to the Cubs. Just another disappointing loss against a bad team. Hey guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. I don't even know what to even say at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said before, the Phillies, string a bunch of wins together and then they string a bunch of losses together. I mean, these are just bad teams that they're playing, and it should lead you to believe that this is just not a very good team either. I mean, I just don't get it anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I've run out of things to rant about. I'm just trying to stay calm because there's just no point in ranting, right? I mean, this team has showed us what they're all about. They're just a 500 team. You go look at a record, you can't say, oh, they're not a 500 team. Their record is 72-72. So you can't use the excuse, oh, they're not a 500 team. They are a 500 team. The numbers speak for themselves. What is a 72-72 record? That is a 500 record. So you can't argue it. There's no debating it. Now, could this team be better than 500? Yes, they could. Yes, they could. I mean, if they get a couple more pieces together and kind of get their act together, I definitely think they could be. And a long way to go. I mean, this is just bad, right? You have the Chicago Cubs team coming into Philadelphia, a team that just totally just blew it up at the trade deadline, and you can't even beat these guys? I mean, seriously? I mean, that's just sad. That is just sad. As we pick up the scoring summary at the bottom of the first inning, Odubel Herrera hit one of the longest leadoff home runs I think I've ever seen as he homers on a deep fly ball to right center field, his 13th of the season, as the Phillies then lead it 1-0. So, some history was laid last night in Philadelphia. The Phillies set a franchise record for the most leadoff home runs in a season. So that was broken, right? I mean, since 2007. So it's been. So the Phillies did set a record last night for most leadoff homers in a season. Herrera's 13th of the season. That ball was absolutely clobbered. So 1-0 Philadelphia. Then we pick it up top of the fifth inning. Patrick Wisdom, he gets a hold of one as he homers on a fly ball to center field. A two-run shot also scores Wilson Contreras as the Cubs now take the lead. Now a 2-1 ball game. That was Wisdom's 26th home run of the season. Here we go, right? Meanwhile, the offense has done nothing, absolutely nothing, since the Odubel Herrera leadoff home run. And that is one of the biggest problems for this team, is this offense is just like, I know I keep going on the trade deadline. I was really backing up this offense saying we have a very good offense. We don't need a lot of these offensive pieces. And I was thinking saying about the pitching. I'm like, hey, we need them more pitching. Well, now I think it's both. I do think we need more offense. I mean, this offense is just so on cold. I mean, it's injury prone. I don't want to use that too much as the excuse, but it's just a lot of things that just seem to not be going too well for this team. There's not just one big thing that's missing. There's a lot of holes on this Phillies team. There's a lot of them. Then the same inning, Alfonso Rivas, right? They go back to back as he homers on a fly ball to right field. His first home run of the season off of Kyle Gibson, and it's now 3-1 Chicago. So the Cubs now extend the lead 3-1. Kyle Gibson, a 4.85 ERA since joining the Phils. Not very good, right? You go take a look at Spencer Howard. He's been able to do. Texas, not very good either. So the trade just hasn't worked out for either side. Then in the same inning, Rafael Ortega doubles on a ground ball to left field. Sergio Alcantara comes around to score as the Cubs now extend the lead, a 4-1 ball game. I say a 4-run top of the fifth inning. So this was just kind of the backbreaker in this game. It shouldn't have been, but it was, because I just had a feeling like this offense is going to go down quietly. This team is going to go down quietly, and sure enough, I was right. Then we pick it up bottom of the sixth inning. Bryce Harper. Right, this continues to just be the lonely guy on this team, it seems like, who actually wants to win as he doubles on a sharp line drive to right field. His 33rd double of the season. That Gene Segura comes around to score as the Phillies cut the lead in half. Now a 4-2 ball game. So Harper continues to just stay red hot, right? I mean, gets his slugging up, gets his OPS up after that one. Of course, his average did remain at 3-7 after last night's game. So another RBI right there for Bryce. And the RBIs are starting to come since the All-Star break. You saw the numbers. Hopefully he can finish with, mid-80s to finish out the year. It's respectable. We pick it up, same inning, Didi Gregorius. Singles on a ground ball to right field, and Bryce Harper comes around to scores a bang-bang play at home plate. The oven mitt that Bryce had on kind of helped him get in there and get his hand in there as the Phillies are now just within 1 hour, 4-3 ball game. Thinking hey, I was kind of giving up on this team and thinking oh, wow, okay. Now it's a 4-3 ball game. We're just down 1, okay. Not the end of the world. So then we pick it up top of the 7th inning. Frank Sigel doubles on a line drive to left field. Nick Martini, remember Nick Martini, right? From spring training of 2020, he comes around to score as the Cubs now get one of those runs right back. Now a 5-3 ball game. So Sam Coonrod, man, what's going on with this team? And like I said, it goes back to my point at the beginning. Not only is this offense just so inconsistent, so hot and cold, but I told you, there's a lot of holes on this Phillies team, right? In this starting rotation, a lack of stamina, and some injuries, right? And you go take a look at the bullpen. There's just not a lot of pretty names in that bullpen. They don't have a lot of stuff. They don't really know how to put it together. It's not a very good bullpen. And then the offense too. I mean, there's not one huge main problem. There's a lot of problems on all sides of the game here. 5-3 Chicago. Then Ian Happ in the same inning doubles on a line drive to left field the other way. And Frank Sigel comes around to score as the Cubs now get those 2 runs right back. Now a 6-3 ball game. So Ian Happ, a guy that does just not hit for a very average, right? His 18th double of the season off of Sam Coonrod. Great job, Sam Coonrod. Right? A guy that I was giving so much credit to at the beginning of the season. He has done absolutely nothing since, right? So I had that injury, came back, he looked kind of okay, I guess, and not a very good performance last night. And that's your ball game. 6-3 your final scores. The Phillies lose the series opener to the Cubs. I don't even know what to even say anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't. I mean, usually in a recap you think like, oh, this and that, this and that, this and that. It's just the same old thing over and over and over again. I could go back to what I said about the Colorado Rockies, right, in that series. The same thing applies here. A bad team that doesn't have a lot of pieces coming in and just beating you guys, right? I mean, these aren't even exciting games. It's not even like, not only are they losing these games, these aren't even exciting games. They're not trying to make a big fight. They're not the fighting Phils, like that guy always says. The fightings. They're not fighting at all. There's no fight. These are not the fighting Phils. So at least not what I see. And Arturo Barrera, only one hit was a big one. The leadoff home run to right field that was actually clobbered. Of course, they didn't really do much dividends in this game, but that was pretty cool to see. Gene Segura collects 2 hits out of the 2-hole right, puts the ball in play out. We talk about that all the time. Working his average back up to 300 as it sits at 298. And Niall has his OPS above the 800 mark as it sits at 805. And Bryce Harper, the RBI double to right field, also mixed in on a walk, right? I mean, he just continues to stay out, right? Another RBI for him, as we discussed. OPS now sits at 1,033. And Andrew McCutchen continues to do nothing as he goes hitless. I mean, why are we banning Andrew McCutchen cleanup? I think I've talked about this in previous videos because it sounds familiar. Why are we banning Andrew McCutchen cleanup? I don't get it. I don't understand why we're hitting this guy cleanup. It's just like he's done nothing. It goes back to Joe Girardi here. Why in the world is he batting him cleanup? I just don't understand it. At least he put the ball in play, but still nothing's happening. And Brad Miller, I like Brad Miller as a bench bat. How many times have I said that? I do not like him as an everyday player, and this is why. He hasn't done anything, right? I mean, bat off the bench, he's great. A platoon player that plays every couple of days, it's fine. I love Brad Miller in that role. I don't like him as a starter. I don't. And I really do like Brad Miller. I just don't like him in this spot. Diego Gorst, the RBI king of the score, Bryce. But it still doesn't make up for all the bad baseball he's played this year, both offensively and defensively. And Ron Arturias, a guy that has really, really cooled off. And this is another thing. Goes back to the offense again, and I thought about this since I started this video, but I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wait until I get to this point. You can't expect to win, all these games when you have, like, bench players going out there and playing, right? Like I said, with Brad Miller, with Ronald Trace, with Freddie Galvis, these are not everyday players. They have these guys, they have these starters go out who are not starters. They're not starter, not starting material. They're just not there, right? I mean, they're just not starting material. And Ron Trace is one of those guys, unfortunately, too inconsistent. Brad Miller, too inconsistent. Freddie Galvis, too inconsistent. Just inconsistent. That's why they're bench players. Now, if you go put Freddie Galvis back in the Baltimore Orioles, is he a bench player? No, because the Orioles are terrible. I mean, this is not a very good team, and they're not a terrible team, this Phillies team. I understand, yes, Galvis didn't start last night, but he's been starting pretty frequently. Yes, I understand the injuries have had nothing to do with that. Yes, I understand it's because Didi's not producing, but there's simply no excuse for it. When you could have had a guy like Alec Boehm, yes, he didn't provide the glove. His defense was just totally void, but I mean, he's in 300 since July 1st. Now, if you listen to Dan Dombrowski, you wouldn't know that because he said that he got sent down because of his lack of offense. But overall, of course, I've already discussed that. I don't agree with that at all. And Kyle Gibson, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 7. So the 7 strikeouts, kind of odd for a guy like Kyle Gibson that doesn't generate a lot of strikeouts. And he didn't walk a batter, which is very, very strange, right? I mean, not a kind of guy that's going to rank up the strikeouts. He got 7 last night, which is kind of strange, in 5 innings. But not good, right? I mean, like I said before, a 4.85 ERA since joining the Phillies, and his last couple starts have been bad. It's just weird, right? Because Wheeler kind of went through that little rough patch there for a little while, and he wasn't really pitching too well. And at that time, Gibson picked it up. Now Wheeler's kind of going back to being that guy again. Now Gibson's fallen off. So it's just like it can never be reciprocal. It can never be reciprocal. It's always one way or the other. Rarely ever any, it's just like consistency. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to that point again. As he gets back with the loss now 10-7 on the year. I mean, he deserved it, right? He deserved it. I mean, giving up 2 home runs. One of those was, with a 2-run shot, right? I mean, so he just was not very good last night. And J.D. Hammer, a nice inning there in the 6th inning. I don't understand. It goes back to Joe Girardi again. Why in the world are you going to take out J.D. Hammer? See, he could have won another inning. Why are we taking these guys out when they have one good inning? Oh, we're going to take them out of the game. It seems like Gabe Kapler. It seems like Gabe Kapler. I don't understand it at all. Sam Cooner, right? He couldn't even collect 3 outs. He couldn't even get out of that 7th inning. He couldn't even get out of that 7th inning, ladies and gentlemen, as we had to bring in Cambro to sign, and he did his job just fine. But another guy I partly leave for this loss, Sam Coonrad, a guy that's been awful. And Archie Bradley, of course, he comes in and does his job when it doesn't really matter in a loss. But yes, he did do his job. And Bailey Falter, right, came in to pitch the top of the 9th inning, and he looked pretty good as well. But Sam Coonrad, Kyle Gibson, and the Phillies offense, except for Bryce Harper, and in this game, let me just say it because he's bad this year, Didi Gregorius is the reason why we lost this game. And JT Muto out of the lineup again. I know, it's just like always an injury. I understand he's a catcher. I understand that, but there's always something. I love the guy, but it's just always something. I guess you expect it since he's a catcher. I think that 60-game season last year really had an impact on this year, right? I mean, not catching as much, and hopefully he's better next year. Hopefully he is better next year. I'm going to keep, saying next year. It's just amazing. This team is 500, and they find themselves only 3 games out of a second wildcard spot. Is that sad? Is that sad? They only find themselves 3 games back for the second wildcard spot. And they're like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They find ways to not do it. They find ways to not do it. I don't understand it. They just try to not do it. I truly believe that. I mean, you go back and look at last year, all they had to do is just win 1 out of those 3 games against a team that was already clinched the postseason, already had home field advantage. They were playing for nothing. You couldn't even win one of those games. It's just like, I don't understand it. I memean, all the talent that we have, right? I mean, there's a ton of holes too. But some of the talent we have enough talent to beat these bad teams. You've seen it before. I'm not saying that this is a great team. This is not a great team. Of course, I mean, you see these inconsistencies, but we're good enough to beat these teams. So clearly we're not. At least I thought we were, but clearly we're not. So there's still, as many times as I said, just a 500 team, I continue to find myself disappointed. But honestly, you can say you're disappointed, you can't say you're surprised. In words of Michael Barhan, it's true. I'm going to go back to that again, something that I heard a couple years ago. You can say you're disappointed, but you can't say you're surprised. That is the 2021 Phillies for you, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that's the 2019 through 2021 Phillies for you. If you want to include 2018 there as well, I guess you could. But that was a year we didn't really expect to do much. But there's no excuse for the way this team has played the past 3 seasons. I mean, honestly, the amount of talent that they've had, and they just can't really get it together. I mean, there's still a lot of holes, like I said. But this is just aggravating. The Mets lose, right? Again, a 2-game losing streak. The Padres on a 5-game losing streak. Reds on a 3-game losing streak. As the St. Louis Cardinals, so the second wildcard spotters, they are a half a game up on the Cincinnati Reds. So the Phillies have opportunities. They have opportunities to try to gain ground, and they never can take advantage. They never, ever, ever, ever take advantage of it. It's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. It's hard to watch. It's just aggravating to watch. So 7-5 the first pitch tonight. And Mills on the mound for the Cubs, 6-6 with a 4.35 ERA. And Ranger Suarez on the mound for the Phils, 6-4 with a 1.38 ERA. So shout out to my uncle who is a Cubs fan. He's probably going to watch this video, so hello to him. I just want to give him a little shout out here. He's probably going to laugh at that. So 7-5 the first pitch tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please engage the bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section. At Phillies Hot Stove Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshatstove@gmail.com. I'm running out of things to say, right? We all know the drill. It's just the same old story. Lack of offense. The bullpen falters. Kyle Gibson wasn't good. He hasn't been good since joining the Phils. 4.85 ERA. He was very good at first, but it's just like, what happened? So Mills, Suarez. I guess you're interested in watching. I am Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phils. I'll see you again.